in the flag, flag, la la la, la la la. We're gonna shoot the red stick, we're gonna shoot the red stick, la la la, la la la. The race, we're gonna get rid of the race, we're gonna get rid of the race.
In the last year, the most serious of the attacks has been a fire bombing and destruction of a bookshop on August the 10th. The bookshops obviously mean something to the National Front, the National Party, and the various fascist terrorists who are operating in the country at the present moment. And they're seeking to terrorize us out of existence. And we are saying they won't terrorize us out of existence. But we recognize the state has a certain responsibility and we must bring it to the attention. Because if we were to arrange self-defense groups here, you can rest assured that the police will be attacking us and not the fascists who will be attacking our bookshops.
The National Front today throws bombs at black people's premises. They beat up black people, black young ladies on the street and so on. So they are harmful, but they, in a sense, they're not the major threat to black people. Any black youth on the street will tell you that the major threat for them for all their lives in this country has been represented by the police, the blues, the men in uniform on the beat, who humiliate them every day, who pick them up on sus, who take them out to the station, who beat them. They all have, you know, every 1 out of 4 black youths has a story to tell.
David Olawale was a young Nigerian who came to this country with the intention of studying to become an engineer. He was kept out for some years of institutions of learning. He just couldn't get admission to an engineering college, partly because he was poor and couldn't pay, and therefore refusing to go into a factory, which was difficult enough, but he was unable to find work and slowly deteriorated to a tramp bum. During the course of his last 5 years, in a famous trial of Sergeant Kitchen and Sergeant Elliker, it was revealed that an entire police force in the city of Leeds had picked David Olawale for the most terrible persecution. They picked him up at night, they beat him, they urinated on him. Finally they killed him and they threw his body in the River Aire.
Why, when a Jamaican or West Indian is picked up, why should he be beaten in the police station? Yeah. Why should he be beaten? Answer! Ladies and gentlemen, we all know we get ourselves in a few difficulties times, a bit of problem with the law. If we do something, we'll be picked up at the police station, charged, but why should we be beaten up? Ladies and gentlemen, hang on a minute, will you please quiet? Now we've got proof here. 2 weeks ago, one of our brothers was assaulted by a number of men in Wolverhampton. So he decided to defend himself by protecting himself by carrying an offensive weapon. The Bible tells you, "Harm no man and let no man harm you." He walked with a chopper. He was picked up by the police. His brother was there. While his brother was there, his brother said to him, "Get in the police car and come up the station." Another set of officers came and they grabbed him by the neck, punched him in the face, broke his nose in the car, and he was beaten up. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stay there a minute? This was his jacket, covered in blood. The police decided to take his clothes to wash it before he comes to court. Mr. Buck, here it is. Here it is. This is proof. And he's still in jail, was remanded in custody. When he came up in court, he could hardly say, "Here is it, Mr. Buck. Here is it, ladies and gentlemen." Now we come back on the t-shirt. Here it is. So we took it here for each and every one of you to say this. Why should they be beaten up when they take in the police station?
Myself and my friend met and we came down Oxford Street primarily to see about a job that I'd applied for in Boots and to see a girl who worked in Selfridges. We reached down here about 4:30, something like that, and went to Selfridges. We never met the girl because we had too many people, so we decided for me to go and see about the job. But before we went to see about the job, we went into CNA's to see about a coat for my friend to buy. When we came out of CNA's, I went to Boots to see about the job, and my friend went in Virgin Records on the corner to wait for me. After I'd seen about the job and came out and met him in Virgin Records, we came out of Virgin Records and turned the corner onto Edgware Road, where we saw my friend across the road at the bus stop. The traffic was too much, so we couldn't cross, so we just waved, said hello from across the road. We carried on walking down to Mr. International, where a man came in between us and put us against the window. He said he was a police officer and that we'd been followed from we came out of CNA. He said we was under arrest and said anything we said would be taken down and used it in evidence against us. A police car pulled up in the centre of the road when a uniformed officer came across and escorted us to the car. We was taken down to the police station, searched, questioned and charged. The charge was suspected person of loitering with intent to commit an arrestable offence. After that we was put in a cell where we stayed for about 3 to 4 hours until my father came and collected us.
One of the most potent weapons that the police use against black youth is the charge of sus. That is, being a suspected person loitering with intent to commit a crime. And that's an offence which the police can pick someone up for if they think they're about to, not that they have, but are about to commit a crime. And the standard pieces of evidence used in practically all the cases I've ever heard of is, I saw the defendant wandering down bus queues dipping in ladies' handbags, or I saw the defendant trying car doors. It's something which tends to be used against youth, either because the police think that they ought to be at school and are not, or ought to be at work and are not.
It is imperative from a general preventive point of view that any offender who is seen in such circumstances that he is a suspected person loitering with intent to commit this type of crime should be arrested before he does it rather than afterwards. And if you have got on occasions a number of arrests for suspicious persons, it is because that they are there in abundance at that particular time.
Case, and whilst the case was going on, it's that when I knew what the police were really like. I never thought that they could lie so much. All the time the case was going on, the magistrate, he just didn't seem interested. He looks like he was just reading something or something like that on his desk in front of him. And that's how it went. When it came to giving us a sentence or finding us guilty or innocent, all he said was, I don't believe a police officer would come to court and commit perjury, which just shows that he was intending to find us guilty all the time, because anything the police say, he would just take it as law.
It seems to me what the police have been doing, particularly in a whole series of incidents over the last few years, is launching an assault predominantly on black young people. Black young people whom the schools and the careers service, youth employment service within the schools have not persuaded to accept jobs which employers view as being the particular claim of black people. In other words, the situation in which a number of black immigrants from the Caribbean or Asia or wherever came to this country and accepted the worst jobs and continue to be largely at that level within the economy. That situation is not repeating itself because the children of those black people are refusing to accept those kinds of jobs. Now, it is at that level that they are in confrontation with the state and with the police as agents of the state.
I want to say, go! As if you were pointing and punching. Got it? Right, up to the firing line and adjust your earmuffs. You are loaded in the holsters, remember? Draw weapon. Right, that's it. Now stop looking at the gun, look at the target. That's the one who wants to kill you. Are you ready on the firing line? The line is ready. Stand by. Now! Down! Charge! Down!
Well, if the police don't need any provocation or reason to arrest you as it is, if they see my face during an interview like this, that is just asking for trouble. Because they would say, we don't want people like him who would tell the truth. Because there's hardly been any program that I've seen where the truth has been really told. They don't want anyone telling the truth about some happenings that's going now. So it'd just be worse for me. I doubt if I'd be able to walk the streets.